What's up? I'm up on Rohan. All that good stuff. My day's been pretty good. Hopefully yours has been good. I actually ended up having somebody request something particular, so I'm going to try it and see where it goes. You can always leave a comment if I'm actually still doing it at that point or afterwards. Never knowing which way something will go. Do you have all the paths covered, regardless of how it goes? Have you decided which way, if it goes a particular way? Or do you do it in the middle of that change? Without a moment of hesitation? Do you have to stop and wait and evaluate such situation? Before making your choice on how you move? Depending on what kind of thinker. Depends on which way you go. But are you able to do both when the situation decides to show? Depending on what it is. Do you freak out about what it is? Do you keep a level head in the middle of all this that goes on in your head? Decisions to make. Do I make them now or do I hesitate? Or do I make proactive moves and adjust my moves? Depending on what it is that happens within the situation that you happen to be in. Do you have something that guides you along the way to tell you upon which way? Is it a value or something true? Something that is important to you? Or do you just do what you're going to do? Then hope that the right and best comes to you. Do you settle for nothing less than what you wish to see? Regardless of the situation and how it shows itself to you or me. regardless upon the view it chooses to show. Well, those kinds of things are very hard to know. But do you have a plan of action? When that situation that is not good decides to show. It kind of ruins where you wish to be. Makes you maybe think negatively towards which way you wish to go. Do you choose to be steadfast? Say, that's not the way this goes. Stand your ground to whatever the situation may be. You will not defeat me. Having plans of action are smart things to do. It helps determine your course of action. Depending on the situation, that is. It's better to be prepared for something that never shows its face than hesitate and have a big problem upon that place. But some are very critical thinkers, able to outthink the situation regardless what it is in the moment. Not all have the gift to think such as this in the moment. Never knowing which way to go. Never knowing which direction it may show. Never knowing if it will show at all upon that day. Whatever it happens to be. Whatever it happens to be. Never knowing where it may come from as well. Never knowing if it will possibly affect how you dwell. Will it cause you to sweat? Will it cause you to shake? Will it cause you to make a bad mistake? Will you stretch yourself too thin? More than one, maybe, shows its face. Some critical thinkers, regardless how it is, or where it comes from, and deal with it as it is. Some that have no experience in dealing with such things come up with things that just don't work within things. Not being in the place or other things. Not saying they do not think of the situation and things. A general act or your plan upon a general action plan. Regardless of the cards of the situation that is dealt, and the hand that you have, that you are able to have dealt. Are able to play them against such things. Regardless of the situation and the state of things. Regardless where you are as well. Regardless if it is a place that you happen to dwell. Can you think on your feet, or must you sit? Must you lay? Must you have peace upon that moment and day? These are things you must keep in mind in decisions you make. Of your plan of action. A lot of times you do not have time to hesitate. But a lot of times if you're not within the stress of such, add that upon the thinking time of stress. You reach high for everything you do, regardless of the situation that chooses to meet you. With actions that you may have planned or general actions. Depending on what it is that meets you. Do you not plan ahead? Are you able to do such things without planning ahead? In the middle of all situations and conditions I have said. What do you do if such plans go wrong? Your plans of actions are completely wrong. Do you have plans for what happens to be? As I just said, everything you try to do is wrong. We've all had days such as this. It doesn't matter. Everything goes wrong regardless of this or this. Or that or that. Or what is it I was going to do with that? Can you act on your feet? Do you have to sit and have a seat? Do you have to lay to think of such things? Or can you do it in the middle of the day? I would have one recommendation upon things such as this. Find out what your strengths and weaknesses is, as far as things like this. I'm not saying to put yourself in situations such as this. But note, I know I can handle this in a situation such as this. Analyze what you have done if you must. See what you could have changed to get the most. Maybe ask around you. Never know, the situation may not be the one that approaches you. But do you have a plan? Coordinates and other things upon your plan. If you are there or here, which way do you go? Do you have anything that can show where you would be if you were to have the map show? Where it is you wish to be in that situation? Do you already know where you wish to be within that situation? Regardless what it is. Critical thinkers sometimes are ones you do not expect. Ones that you would think do not know what you think they should expect. You could never know just by looking at one. If they are given a situation, can they ensure the fact they win? Cannot judge things such as appearance for such things as this. Or ones that have issues with this. Ones maybe you think have it all together. Maybe they have less together than you realize they do. Or the fact that they have more together than you. As far as this, you don't want to judge someone even if you know that someone, or think you do. They may have skills and other things that they don't know and they have hidden from you. But in moments of need, desperation in that need, all of a sudden you see a side you do not see. Or in moments of distress that mess with the rest. They get the results that are the best. Regardless of the moment or season, regardless of the position of the map or compass upon this season. It's pretty simple to understand what I mean when I say that. or regardless of the cards they hold. They could be young or they could be old. Be one you least expect. Never knowing which way your situation might be going. If it chooses to leave, will you stay there to ensure it leaves? You never know, it might backbuild and choose not to leave. Like a storm, like a tornado. Never knowing where it will show. Never knowing what kind of destruction it could show. Never knowing if it goes away, it might come back. A few minutes or a few seconds in the day. And depending on the circumstances and weather upon that day, it could get stronger if it chooses to go away. Will you stomp it out upon this day? Or will you give it a chance to stay? Is there something that you go through that you feel that is only you? A situation maybe you have planned for, have an action planned for. You look around and it's only you. You have no idea who to ask or what to do. Do you weigh out the options that are best for you? Do you act critically, regardless if this last one was you? Do you look forward to your day? Do you wish the sun would just stay? You've made all your problems go away. Or maybe they just haven't reached you upon this day. Do you have a joy that gives you happiness and love upon this day? Something that you wish and you will ensure that it stays. Do you have actions planned out for such things as this as well? Not negative situations, but ones that make you happy to be here and dwell. Do you have a limit of how far you'll go to make sure it stays? Ones that make sure that you stay in the sun's rays. For as long as you can upon this day. Regardless what other things come your way. These are things you wish and plan for today. Is it friendship or love you wish to stay? There are many ways you can get this regardless if it is the first or the second. This is a situation that you look for in the first. It's the situation of the second. It's the one you plan for. A happiness that fills you up. One that takes and overfills your cup. Spills into others close to you, regardless if they're friends or family to you. One that regardless of someone else's view. This is important and worth fighting for you. What is it that you are willing to do to get this second view? Butterflies and flowers you love to be with or spend this way for hours. Does this help you get through the first? Does it help you get that extra burst? when others happen to see the worst? Can you see past and see what I describe now in the situation I spoke of before now? Something you strive to get in the first. In case you forgot, the first situation was the worst. This one is the best and happiest. Best situation for all that are close to you because they are all the happiest. And they enjoy spending this with you. There's nothing they would change or try to do. Is this a situation that rings a bell to you? What do you do if that? It's not always easy for another one to accept it. Or does that bother you? Oh, they cannot accept it. Brush it off like it's nothing. Isn't your job to ensure that you're the one that gets the joy? Not everyone wishes to have you be in joy. Some because you are happier or going through something better than them. They are jealous, so they wish for you to sit along with them. Are you able to notice ones like this? Ones that, oh no, this individual cannot have happiness like this. But my cup overflows. My joy is more than it can ever flow. This is a feeling that you can never know. For I feel it different than you. Why do you wish to take my joy and have me give it to you? This would be one of the few views you may see upon ones like this. Ones that wish to take what you have when I describe this. Are you willing to defend it? Like a keep. These feelings you wish to keep. These fuzzy feelings and butterflies and all things that almost make you feel high. Have you ever experienced a love or a happiness such as this, without any other things involved in trying to get this? If you have, more than likely you feel super glad, fuzzy feeling all warm inside, and find all your friends so they can feel it as well inside. Share it as much as you can. Family, friend, or neighbor. Does it give you the feeling that you wish to have? One that, regardless, it always lasts. Even through the thick and thin, like the first situation. Do you still feel the second one from the start to the end? There are few that are able to do such things, regardless of the negativity and other things. A longing to feel like you belong. A longing for this feeling to feel so long. A feeling of companionship. A feeling that love is there with you, regardless who it is that is with you. A feeling that most crave. But to get this, sometimes you have to be brave. There will be ones that do not wish for you to have it. Because they have so much stuff going wrong in theirs. How dare you have something better than theirs? But a lot of times these people do not realize. Instead of doing this, they could get a happiness just as this that they see you have. But they're so focused on everything bad, never looking at what can actually make them glad. looking at even through the bad. There are things that come good from the bad. Maybe a lesson learned. Maybe you find out who your friend and foe is. Maybe you find out if someone has your back. Maybe it was a situation that if it was just a split second wrong, all chance to be with that one would be gone. Whoever that may be. Or the situation could have been a lot worse, but they are too blind to see. Oh, boo hoo hoo hoo, why is this happening to me? But then, it may say something like that. But then in a split second, they realize, you know what, it could have been worse than that. In the heat of the moment, some people forget to look for the good in the moment. After expressing something bad, find something that can make you glad. It's not really that hard, and it's kind of sad. Now, if it's nothing but negativity, that's different. But if there is something that could be good, why not look for that? I've actually met a few people that are very similar and can do that. Seen them be in the worst situation they can ever be. And they have a smile laugh as if it is not to be. You ever think maybe they think critically about the good? You do not just do that naturally without thinking about the good. There are a few things that may make that easier for others. But then others may struggle. Maybe you can remind them in the middle of their struggle. That could give you joy as well. Them butterflies and happy feelings as well. One of the most selfish things you can do is this. Maybe it's the one that needs to be encouraged. the middle of the first situation. They do not know how to handle this situation, but you do. Maybe at the end of the second. Where they can see that someone is trying to take your happiness or theirs. What do they do different? It's another way that might help. As far as either one of these. Like, I'll give you an example of this. Say you wish to be the best in your field, whatever it is you wish to do. Do you study someone that knows nothing about it? Or you study someone that is very good at it? Do I ask someone that fixes watches to fix my television? Or someone that works on teeth? No. You speak to someone that is good at whatever you seek. Some of the best. You realize before they were the best of the best? That they studied the best of the best before they could be considered the best. That is not always the case, though. If you wish to be exactly like the best, no variance or creativity within that. Sound just like, or whatever it is. What I mean by what I say with this. Give you a small example of this. For that particular part. Say you wanted to play guitar and you decided to play Metallica. Would you sound like yourself? Or would you sound like Metallica? You would sound like Metallica, but you would have no originality. You would not be any different than them. You would not be one that is able to set a bar higher than even them. It's different to study. then try to be exact. Bit and a piece here. Not all of it. That way, it is Metallica only that they hear. But it is not Metallica that happens to be here. If you get that. That's just a small example of studying someone. One of the few that were standards. If you wish to meet the standards and not raise the bar above, be less than what you could be if you chose to raise the bar above. Maybe that would be the best way to study. Not so much that you sound or be like the one you study. Sorry, I associate a lot with music. Best way I can describe that was with music. In case you don't understand, I will do it very simple. It's good to study someone that is very good at what you wish to be, but you sound like you, not them. You are you, not them. Individuality. Do you stick out with your individuality? Are you one that is different than all the rest? Are you one that raises the bar upon the rest? Are you one that might be similar, but you can tell the difference between you and the rest? Or if you were to compare, do they sound the same? Or seem the same as you? Do someone have to look twice to know that it was you, and not them, whoever it was you happened to study? You know, one of the best, the ones that are the standard. Of course, the ultimate goal is to raise the standard. Not to just match it. Very bad way to be one that everyone will look up to one day. Unless you just wish to be average. You know, never sticking out. Never being one that's different enough that, whoa, wait a second. This one definitely sticks out. That's the thing. Sports kind of got the memo upon this thing. You cannot win with what you did last year. You must win with something that is different, better than last year. Count the year as the standard. That season as the next year's standard. That must be higher to win the next year. There's a reason why I say this. Remember how I said to study the best? Do you not think what you can do cannot be seen by the rest? You raise the bar, someone else will raise it higher than you. Especially if they are working harder than you. So do you strive to leave this place on empty? Or will there be a little bit left what you could have done and what you could have been. The choice is yours as far as that. Some get to where they wish to be, and they come complacent with what they see. Never striving for more. But few and far between as far as percent goes. Those are the ones that raise the bar. Some say they wish to. But their actions, the ones watching say they deceive you. Pushing harder, farther. Never settling. Never becoming complacent and choosing to settle. Few and far between as far as percent goes for this. These are the industry leaders. In any field they do this. There's only one reason why this is true. They choose not to do. Oh, this is far enough. I think I'm okay with what I've done. Not pushing harder. Man, I must challenge what I have just done. Just sit back and relax. I think I can kick back after that. Not realizing someone else is working harder than them. Next minute, they have just passed them. Of course, some wish to have it on a silver platter, without doing any work. Not developing themselves. or what they wish to have their craft as. That's the negative side of that. But for those few and far between, is it something that from day to day you dream? It's the only thing you can think of. Only thing you wish to have. Do you like what you do? Does it show the individuality that is you? Does it make people think, how is it that this person thinks? Must know exactly what they did. Saying I wish to be as if they did. But if I wish to make it anywhere in this, I must know how they did this. Only the parts that would increase my skill in such things. Other than that, the rest are useless things. Does it make you cry your idea or wish it was easier for you to do? Does even thinking about it just give you goosebumps and inspire you? Do you maybe wish to give someone else another view? Do you wish to show the true you why you do what you do? Is it an art of expression for you? Is it something that you are challenged to do? Or is it something that just comes from the fly, never knowing where it's from? Is it something that just came to you upon one day? Did you act on it or did you throw it away? How many revisions have you had of such things? There are certain things that we use from a day-to-day basis that if you knew the story behind how you got what you use the day-to-day basis, your simple struggle would be put in perspective. Failed only but a few times. There's some that failed so many times you would think the person was crazy. Or they tried so hard Everyone else around them thought they were crazy until they actually did what they wished to do. I once had someone tell me something, and on what they told me, if they were to criticize what I am now in that subject, I know for a fact they would apologize upon what they said and regret what they said. Remember the second where they were wanting me to be less than them? That's the situation. For that one, they wished me to be less than them. Do you have someone like that in your situation, regardless what it is? While you're in the middle of what you're trying to do with this, oh, you'll never do it. You'll never accomplish what you wish to do. That is something that they would say to you. But in the midst of this, does this describe you? Watch me. Say I can't do something, I'll be the first one to tell you about it when it is complete. Is that an attitude that you have? If you do, I can tell you this, that few and far between. As far as percent, as far as this applies to you. I have had many people say, you can't do this or you can't do that. Guess what? I've proven them around to be wrong every single time. If it was something possible that I could actually accomplish, a few things that aren't actually possible. But what's funny is, there's been a few times somebody said that years later. Finished what they said I could not do. And I'm sure there are others that have done that. I don't know your story, I'm just giving an example for myself. Or, you will never be Pretty much once had someone tell me I'll never be anything. Yet, what they said that I'll never be anything. I had more stuff than theirs that was up to prove the fact that I have done it. Talking about a little bit of my own stuff, but that is what it is. You might be able to connect with something like that. Are there ones that doubt you? Are there ones that are not about you? Are there those ones that you wish to keep in your circle? Ones that would set you aside if they had another circle? Not someone that they think is anything. Or they are too blind to see. That you're trying to be the one and only of whoever you are. There will be no one else that's like you, near or far. None ever could, and no one will be after. But they see it as something bad because it is not something that they're used to. Maybe they think that they can do it better than you. If they can, it is what it is. But I will say this, and this is just a personal view. I would rather be myself and have ones like this than be false to myself. What's the point? If you're not expressing yourself as you, does it really matter what you do? To some it may. But this question, I asked for something you might say upon your last day. Was I true to myself? Did I let someone else make me be something they wished me to be? Or was I 100% me? regardless if they liked it or not. Does it give you goosebumps? Some just think you're crazy. Oh, I've never seen it be done like this. This person must be crazy. Or do they think somehow you're trying to be something different than what you are? Are they confused on what they see? Or when you finally do it, whatever this may be, do you have a question? Did this truthfully come from me? Was it feelings or something I might have felt that I just never decided to erase? Or maybe there was something else you started to do that made whatever it was just open up to you. Come to find out, it's rooted in something else. But it disguised itself. Maybe you were doing something since you were little, or something that eventually turned into something else. Or you once... I'll tell you the story on how I got started with this, actually. Give you a small example of that. I once had someone ask a question around me. What do you think their best skill is? Or their money maker? Or what are they talented with? That was the question. It was asked about every person in the room, and when it got to me, it was something I did not even see. Or you could ask the question, what do you think they would really be good at compared to what you see now? I'll give you a hint. It's something that I do now. Just that merely those that said that around me. That's all it took. They spoke greatness over me. Granted, I've been doing this for less than a year, but I started it without any fear. But I did not start as I am now. It was simple, not rhyming and poetry as it is now. Just merely talking about the game that I happen to be talking. But then, you also got to think about this. I have no idea what I'll say, or how I'm gonna say it until I do. It's different when you have something to guide you. But then, I just chose to speak about whatever I think I wish to speak. Trying to help someone maybe connect with their heart. Maybe inspire from the heart. Does it give you goosebumps? What you wish to do? Are there ones that try to help you or support you? Is there something that came to you in the middle of the night that no one else but just you? Granted, while I play, I do not speak the whole time. Just think about it. 2 hours? That is hard to consistently rhyme. Without having anything to go off of as well. Just feeling what you wish to say or what is within your heart that dwells. Just trying to make an impact on someone's life. Maybe help them avoid some of that strife. Or you wish to help someone with a service, maybe. Maybe an idea that's never been seen. Maybe a brand that yet has been seen. Or a different way to do whatever it is you wish to do. Maybe one that is completely unique to you. That no one else anywhere has ever thought to do. So how is it that it came to you? Is it the only thing you think about? Are those ones the only ones? Are there more? Have you written them down? Do you try hard? Do you challenge yourself, even if you don't know if you can go that far, without fear of failure? Are you okay with a little bit of failure along the way? Just because you start, you will not finish in one day. Is it something worth doing? Do you have action plan upon how you will be doing? Or do you go by the fly? Something that has only come to you. Something unique and individual only to you. At least in the way that you wish to do. Or do you see someone else do it and say, you know what? I wish to do this as well. I do not know where to start. Do not know how far. Don't know what I need to do to start. Seems easy to me. Oh, you know what? I don't know if they can do it as good as me. That's what some say. Until it's time for them to hunt. To do what they need to do every day. Oh yeah, that's easy. Is it now? Whatever it is. Is it? You should be able to do it within one day then. A week? 3 months? A year? Sorry, it won't be like that. It will take you far more than a year. Even if it's easy at first. Get far, far in a giant burst. Then when you realize, oh, I gotta do this every day. I don't know if I can get this far every day. That's when the cream separated from the crop. That's when the ones that are good and bad, one rises, the other drops. There are some that think as I have just said. Yeah, if they can do it, I can do it. Depending on what it is. Are you sure? I don't think you realize common statistics or normal statistics. About 90%. Probably a little more, but I'm gonna say 90. Actually, stick with it. Whatever they're going to do to a certain point. Then when it gets hard, they drop off at that point. The other 10% get to a farther point, but they do the same as that. Then the final 2% that's left, they remain the ones that are left. It's common statistic as far as anyone starting a business or an idea or anything. When the times start to get tough, they're the first ones to run. Oh man, this is rough. With that common statistic, someone saying, oh yeah, that's easy. You better be the 2% or may not want to say that's easy. And that's true with anything, by the way. That's just common statistic, though. Here's my question, though. Are you going to be one of those ones that are one of the statistic? The choice is yours. That statistic does not have to be as it is. It really doesn't. It's you that chooses that it is. So are you hungry for it? Are you willing to fight for it? Are you? Do you want it? Trying to start a business or whatever it happens to be? Are you going to work hard or are you just not going to? Question's yours. Along with the answer as well. And it doesn't matter who or what you are. I want to say that as well. Or what someone else thinks you are. They cannot influence if you wish to go anywhere. Don't matter what someone else sees. It's not leading you forward. It does not have to be. Someone else's opinion of you does not have to be the reality that is you. Because, particularly, what they think of you does not matter. If it is your individuality that matters. Now, if you're doing something that's harmful for yourself, that's different. But that has nothing to do with being yourself. When I say listening to someone else, an individual, gosh dang it, individual, I'm gonna have issues with that. Being yourself, being your own individual, ugh, something that doesn't help you in doing so, or someone saying, you know what, I don't like your personality, but there's other people that do. That is what I mean by that, by the way. If you're being different, you act one way around certain people and then another around others. Is that having your individuality? Or are you faking it to impress someone else? Why not be yourself? Same thing goes with whatever it is that you're trying to do. Regardless if it is an idea or maybe trying something that no one else has ever tried before. Maybe being one of the best in your field, whatever it is. The other people's chatter, your critics. Not ones that wish to give constructive criticism, but ones that just wish to give the criticism to make themselves look bigger. Because, sadly, it's actually you that's bigger. They are the ones I spoke of when I say what they say do not matter. Usually someone that is wanting you to be at the same level as them will try to drag you down to the same level as them. But to be your own individual, is that the smartest way to be your own individual? You'll be able to notice these. Always complaining, mocking people. But then when you really look at it, do they have any right to mock in the first place? Is that not a showing of pride in some way? But then if you closer look, you'll realize they're lower than you. They're just trying to pull you down to their level. Those are the ones I'm speaking of. Their opinion does not matter. It's something that I do myself personally. Very good test to see if what they say can be taken seriously. Okay, show me how it's done, my friend. Usually that conversation, it almost instantly ends. Or maybe show me a better way. If they're not even interested in trying because they, oh, whatever it is. Most of the time, more than likely, they don't know what they're talking about. But then if they do, just watch how they act. If they're prideful, and they just wish to try to mock you because they think they are better. It's one way to tell if it's like that. Just watch their attitude. If they are better, then okay, you might be able to learn something. But if they're just doing it because they just want to be a troll, well then, their words cannot be taken seriously at all. Even if they are better. Because then they are the definition of a prideful person. It is only after me, me, me. Just trying to help you associate someone that will be someone you can actually have as a mentor of some way. Someone close, maybe, that does the same thing. They're like, show me how it's done. I want to see how you do it. Not willing to do that. Oh, you couldn't do it. Not worth your time. Or they act very, how can I put it? In a way that you can see their pride within their actions. You can tell just within the way they react with you. They don't seem to be trying to help you. They're just, oh, you never add up to what I am, or something like that. Kind of the attitude that they're given. Not worth listening to them. That is all I will say at this end.